What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for To Your Eternity. This is episode 16, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. Of course, we did get the news that, um, we won't be getting another episode for at least 3 or 4 weeks due to Japan's coverage of the 2026 Winter Olympics, which is going to start next month. This month actually.
hmm
Um, I can understand why because this season is all like every other season. It's only like 20 episodes per season, but it's not stopping like any of the other shows that we're watching, from being delayed, due to the Olympics. So it's like so far as I know, it's like To Your Eternity is like the only show being delayed due to that reason. Um, so I don't know. It's like it's gonna suck that we're gonna have to wait, for an entire month before we get to find out what what happens after this.
Yeah, because it kind of does end on like a bit of a cliffhanger too.
Yeah, and of course we finally follow up on what's been going on with Mizuha, which we knew by the last episode things weren't going so well for her. Like I don't know, I can't really say if it's really her mental state. Maybe it is, or it's mainly due to the knocker's influence inside of her body. And when
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. Like she's kind of like letting it take over to an extent. So I mean, she's kind of like just letting herself be taken over by the knocker.
Yeah. So we catch up with Fushi, as well as with Mizuha's classmates, getting worried about what's been going on with Mizuha, and they find out that she's being transferred over to another school, uh, out of nowhere, and then they find Mizuha's father, trying to ask like what's been happening with Mizuha, and he tells them like that they're moving away, and it's better that they don't follow them. And of course, they
Well, I think didn't they also try to give him that photo album
yeah,
to give to her because they basically like they have I think Fushi is able to I guess recreate the computer that he threw away
mhm,
earlier and they're able to like print out these pictures that Mizuha's mother had of her on her PC
mhm,
and like put them into a photo album.
yeah.
Um,
So they eventually head out, and the one place that they end up going to is Mizuha's grandpa's house, and they end up going there, and then they find like this underground uh, like entranceway in which of course we do know like in one of the earlier episodes that the knockers are hanging out in an underground cavern or hideout, in which I guess they're holding meetings to do something. I don't know. Like it's not really clear, but they finally end up finding Mizuha with her, well, quote unquote mother, which of course she's taken over. Well, she's fully taken over by the knocker at this point, and we also find out that she's been cannibalizing on human flesh.
yeah. um, yeah, like I think Mizuha had just been eating basically eating human flesh.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, her grandfather is also there, and he's just of course he's going along with the whole thing. I mean, he's I guess he's happy now that Mizuha is just down here and is just I guess she's not gonna probably not gonna leave. Um, so she's just being kept in this underground chamber where her mother is just like watching over her. Or, well, I guess her mother and grandfather are watching over her. But yeah, Fushi basically like tries ends up well kind of letting himself into this area by there's like a knocker I guess that's at the entranceway, and he just well supposedly kills it, but there's another one that just ends up taking regenerating and taking its place.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's there, and as well as all Mizuha's classmates, and they basically all try to they try to show her that they show her the photo album. They all try to like kind of convince her um to, I guess, return to school and come back, return to her normal self. And Fushi tries to have a conversation with her, well, technically with the knocker version of her, to try to convince her that, this isn't really what she wants, and to help her, I guess, snap out of that, you have her meet the real Mizuha take back control. He shows her the photo album of, the photos that the real Mizuha's real mother had been keeping of her. I guess try to, it would show Mizuha that her real mother did actually care about her, because Mizuha didn't actually know like some of the stuff that was going on with her mother and the reason why she had to take all those pictures.
Yeah, and of course this of course I guess in a way that this did snap Mizuha back into her senses. I guess temporarily before the knocker ends up fully taking over again, and this becomes even more awkward when when Mizuha's classmates all end up getting apprehended and then being forced to take part in, like, well, in the birthday celebration with
Yeah.
Mizuha, which I wouldn't say it's like it's it's an eventful meeting. It's just like they're just being forced into it. Uh, and of course, like they continue to talk about like well, Mizuha's knocker keeps talking about how she wants to create a more peaceful world in her way. But of course, as we know, Fushi kind of objects to that idea because you're just basically just like taking over other people's bodies, for one reason or another, and just like yeah, it's not really clear with what the knockers are still trying to do with like how they're trying to take over the world and such.
Well, I think they're all just trying to take over people's bodies so
Yeah.
that they'll all just become knockers, basically.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. This is like because we do know like that it's bizarre because I don't know like how like the knockers are gonna function in society, whether or not they're just gonna act like normal people or they're just gonna end up uh consuming on human flesh like Misa has been doing in this episode. Uh but yeah, the episode just leaves us off in a major cliffhanger, like with the the Mizuha knocker explaining like how she's gonna. Well, she didn't really. We didn't really get to hear like how she's gonna do it, but supposedly she has a plan on how she's gonna create this peaceful world.
Well, and based on the episode preview we got at the end of the episode, it seems like the knockers, I guess, are going to invade Fushi's school, or they're going to try to fight, like, I guess some of his classmates along with Inari,
Yeah,
and they're going to have to like try to fend them off, something. But
yeah. So
and then I guess Mizuha is going to force them all to watch this happening.
yeah, I think if we remember, like Fushi tells Tanari that he left his like his
Oh yeah,
his student body in one of the dormitories, but Tanari also finds like a whole stack of weapons just being piled on there, which I don't know. It was unclear at first of why he did that, or maybe because like he knows something is going on, so like he's giving Tanari like somewhat of a fighting chance to do against the knockers if like they happen to invade the school, which eventually like they will.
yeah.
And of course we find out in the preview that it's being attacked by like one of Fushi's puppet bodies being controlled by the knockers.
Yeah. But I thought it was a pretty good episode for the most part. I mean, we finally go back to Mizuha and find out what's going on with her. After kind of, it feels like taking like a detour with Fushi trying to come to terms with some of his friends leaving him or becoming independent.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm a little bit disappointed that we haven't really. I feels like we haven't. I don't know. Maybe I guess there is still time to address it, but I feel like there's kind of like this kind of almost like an unresolved plot point that I thought would be more important in this arc, with Tanari becoming, supposedly becoming jealous of Mizuha, but because it's kind of brought up a little bit, but it doesn't really. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't become like it wasn't a major plot point, or at least it hasn't been so far. So I don't know. I guess they still have time to go somewhere with that, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the episode though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, it's just well, speaking of like the whole Tenari stuff, like I really find it hard to believe that'll get resolved. Like even by the end of the season, maybe they'll follow that
Well,
up.
I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not necessarily expecting it to be resolved, but I thought it would become like actually like a major conflict within the arc.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. It's just like it's sort of like her her personal thing, like why she never liked um you know why she never liked the Descendants at all for her own reasons. Um,
yeah, well, I mean, and I think it's also fairly obvious she has like unrequited feelings for Fushi that gets like kind of subtly hinted at, but never actually becomes a major plot point, which is kind of like confusing to me because it keeps getting brought up every now and again.
yeah.
But
Well, she only brings it up because of like it's because like she got brought back as like as a teenager again, and this is something that I don't know,
yeah,
maybe her like her younger self, like her feelings of a younger self is being brought back into focus in her mind. It's I don't know. It's maybe
it could be that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, like I said, it sucks that we're gonna have to wait at least a month until the Olympics are over to finally see what happens next.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, but that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.